people talk about tech, right? It's software versus hard science engineering, and my take on hard power. So, without a doubt, AI taking over the world. Okay, fine, and everything that it means. It's just not the software itself, but the hardware, the energy that goes into it. All of that, great. But still, there is very limited, if no conversation. I kind of showed you in the second slide, dozens of scholars, dozens of podcasts, dozens of, hundreds of movements starting to come up with the CS kind of a notion. There is rarely, if no, talk about coming together in terms of hard sciences and hard engineering. So this is where I believe we have a very good spot at the table. And the layers of benefits from the humanitarian tech that we're doing, I just want to enunciate it because this will play into my next slides, which is the obvious first layer, saving lives. Secondly, self-reliance that goes beyond time and space. It's a way of thinking, right? Everything that we've talked about, and I don't need to regurgitate. Everyone on the call, everyone who are here, know the basic motif of how Nushur operates. This is not about passing on or making products that you hand off, or about resources that you hand off. No. It's about what's locally sourced, what is not dependent on supply chains. So that self-reliance bit is huge. Third, it's an opportunity cost. So and we'll talk about in a second about a digital economy, but the less dependent you are on basic needs, the more you can focus on the civilization, singularity, and mutation as a people. Fourth, it's a means to connect and grow through global empowerment movements, learn from societies and civilizations. And 5, for our own salvation, get ourselves out of dystopia. So again, at this moment, I want you to think, and I want you to realize, I want you to appreciate, and I want you to simmer on this thought that inshallah, without a doubt, you're here not randomly. Allah has brought you here with a purpose, with a directionality. 2.2 billion Muslims. Can you imagine how many Muslims would die to be in your spot? With a level of clarity that you're doing things, with almost a blueprint that's somehow evolved by Allah's wish. For the most part, and again, because you said beautiful words, it's helplessness. Just for your own sake, just for your own ability to say that, yes, I am a part of a solution. Because if I don't do anything, by definition, I'm a part of the problem. So please, inshallah, just remember that, mashallah, that you and I are here by Allah's wish. We are first and foremost grateful to Him. And these moments, even the moments that we're talking, are not only not random, but they're going to fleetingly move on. So we have to move with it. That's a part of the impetus here. The Gaza resistance and learnings, and again, I just wanted to kind of in that kind of momentum, we're talking about civilization singularity, our own impetus and our own impulse, and being in it, how to be strategic about things. So Matt Kennard, for example, and among thousands of things that are now coming to the forefront in terms of clarity. The Palestinian resistance will be studied for generations to come. They fought off 3 genocidal nuclear armed powers in a hermetically sealed prison with weapons that were mostly repurposed from the occupation's arsenal. Unprecedented. How these guys, mashallah, not only, again, for the sake of time, we focus on Gaza, but across the Muslim world, how they've taken weakness into strength, it's unprecedented, right? We need to tap into these communities that have just, for example, been liberated, like Syria, mashallah, alhamdulillah, we have some work going on there. Understand and learn the components as a nation is rebuilt. The science, the tech, the applications, look at strategy, become aware, appreciate the drive, motivation. And this is something that is very important to understand. What is in the matrix, the blueprint of these brothers and sisters who have gone through the worst of humanity, the worst of the worst of experiences, have not only, by Allah's wish, the ones who have survived, but what plays in their mind in terms of how to survive. Not only how to survive, how to find solutions. We are in spaces where we, by definition, are not exposed to those realities. There is a saying that innovation or invention comes from distress, really, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing, right? something is the mother of invention. I keep forgetting.
Necessity.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Absolutely, right? We, by definition, are not there. While we're trying to find solutions, it just makes sense strategically to tap into those resources who have that, right? So, dogmatic amalgamation of ideas, historical context, and application success. So while that is happening, we want to be aware and we want to stay at par with that. Venn diagram, all of you are aware of this. House of Wisdom for over 500 years. I feel this is important to enunciate. Amass knowledge across societies, cultures, and across millennia. This is waiting. We have such deep resources. I keep on thinking about the pyramids 5,000 years ago. Did you know that they figured out solar energy and battery systems? How on earth were they going 24/7 making the pyramids? We are now saying, ooh, we're talking about all this crazy, supercapacitors and fast charge, discharge, and, you're talking about unbelievable ways of what frequency you're tapping into. A lot of this has already been done. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. So I say there's no need to reinvent the wheel. There are phenomenal resources across the Muslim world. I think roughly 40-45% of land mass is Muslim or Islamic lands, with resources that are diverse from rare earth minerals to uranium, to everything, and conflux that with accelerated discovery tools, and you're in for a wonderful overlap, right? We are at the throes of collaborating with strategic organizations, Econet, for example, which is a missionary, highly Christian organization. Inshallah, we'll make dua. We're trying our best to get into that. The whole point here is that up the baseline. So while we in R&D space, you have a baseline from which you evolve to where you need to be. That baseline is we just need to up it. And there's no need to reinvent the wheel. That up is already there. For those of you who are and a vast majority of our R&D students are in undergrad or grad, there is this idea of, okay, you need to do something that is so unique for your research, something that the world has never done, without a doubt. No one's saying no to that. But remember that you can be smart about it and just up your baseline and then do the tough, and I don't want to use the word, and then do the mutation. All right? Evolve, adapt. So that's the piece. Exciting concept of digital ummah. I'm just coming to learn so much about it. Please, I beg you, the first couple of slides that I said, with all those resources, go through them. There's this huge movement from scholars to historians to activists to strategists to any and every field that you can think about a nation state versus digital ummah. So we are at a tipping point, and typically at a tipping point, just like we said, in that singularity, you need, for success, need a viral idea. You need a super spreader of that virus and right conditions for virus to spread. All of them are here at this idea of CS. What scholars are saying that since with colonization, because before you could travel from Istanbul to Mecca and Damascus, no problem, but then these guys came in, cut everything up, right? The whole globe is cut up. All right, it is too much of an energy to decut. The nation states are done. So let's think ahead. So there's the idea of what's called digital ummah, right? It's called the digital Muslim nation state. 2 billion Muslims. I'm just, I just wanted to write down certain things. Collective power, need awareness for ummah. This is the piece that the ummah is lacking. But this movement started with crypto from digital currency. There's a group in Silicon Valley. They floated this idea, I think, 10 years ago about digital citizenry. And they said that, okay, fine, by 2050, get a goal for a digital nation state. But for that to exist, you need 3 pillars. You need a shared value system. You need an economic ecosystem. And you need a mechanism for governance. And all of this Islam provides. There's a lot of numbers being thrown. I just wanted to kind of put down some numbers. Again, I'm myself learning about this a lot. But again, it's a tsunami that's coming up. We just need to be aware and be a part of this conversation. A good 350 million are very well educated. So while there's a huge percentage of Muslims who are on like $1 a day, there's a good percentage who are very well educated with high earning power. just for the sake of being extremely conservative, if you think about 100 million Muslims donating $1 per week, you're raising more than $1 billion per month. So if you think about the GDP, you think about controlling your entire science and tech, your entire economy, that's unbelievable. It's unprecedented. So for example, you guys have been aware, like was it like a few days ago that AWS, or was it AWS that went down, right? So Muslims should own their own alternative service. It boggles my mind that we don't even have our own LLMs, right? Muslims build according to our own values, whole world will benefit from, because this is not here, as we have seen, the two things I said, the breakdown of international order and the breakdown of Western civilization order. Both of them are built upon serving particular types of people and completely cutting off everyone else. Islam is exactly the flip of it. It is based on justice and equality and kindness and empathy. So if we can do this, this benefits everyone else. So imagine the quantum leaps we are capable of. Again, I put down some astrophysics terms just from my late or early 20s when I was doing all that. But depth perception